Assembly Hall. That was also an exhibition game, and the Hoosiers defeated the Knights 93-62 under then-former head coach Archie Miller. Now, current head coach, Marian head coach Scott Heddy, that was his first season with the Knights. They went on that season to be 22-12, and the Hoosiers 16-15. Now, both of these teams kind of build a winning culture around them, so this should be a fun one. Back to you guys.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Starting lineup for Indiana, no Trace Jackson Davis or Tamar Bates today. Precautionary injuries, they're sidelined and in. So two freshmen getting the start for Mike Woodson in this squad. Malik Renew, number 5, and Jalen Hood-Schifino, number 1. Indiana controls the tip. Thompson, first basket of the game is good off the floater off the inbounds.
Not much of a surprise to see Thompson getting in there early, getting some points up on the board. And like you said, with the two freshmen starting with Trace Jackson Davis and Tamar Bates being sidelined, not that big of a deal. It is an exhibition game, a chance for Mike Woodson and Marian both to just kind of figure out what's working for them early on in the season.
Indiana in transition. Turnover from the freshman Hood-Schifino. Other way is Josh Bryan, and he turned it over himself. We're talking about this Indiana freshman class, one of the best they've had in quite some time. And you're seeing that talent with two of them getting the start today. Two teammates, Jalen Hood-Schifino and Malik Renew, high school teammates at Montverde Academy in Florida.
And part of the 9th best recruiting class in 2022. A lot of promise on this young Indiana team.
Here's Renew, his first look of the game. Backing down, and the move with the left hook, no good, too strong to follow off the glass and in.
You'll see that's exactly what you want out of Renew with his height at 6'9", to just be able to drive into the basket, even if he needs a second chance, just to get the ball in any way he can.
And the pressure off the hedge on the ball screen from Renew forces an out-of-bounds play for the Knights. Marian University, an NAIA school, but not NCAA, but they've had success, as we just talked about. Here's Harvey, the senior. 4 on the shot clock. Harvey's going to have to heave a deep 3. Way short, air ball.
There's that Indiana defense that everybody knows a lot about. Of course, after last season, they had a very strong defense, projected to have a top 10 defense in the nation. And against a team like Marian, an NAIA team, you know, there's some expectation in an exhibition game for it not to be overly competitive because of the differences between the two teams. But still expect some competition today.
Indiana top-rated defense in the Big Ten last year. Here's Kopp on the baseline, bullying his way through and gets the lay-in to go. 6-0 lead for Indiana early on, just 2 minutes in. Harvey fast the other way. It's a charge. Malik Renew, the freshman, stood in there. And we'll take another look at it. Good job from Renew to step in.
Good. As a freshman, you're obviously in your first game at Assembly Hall. There's probably a good amount of pressure, but everybody looking calm and collected so far.
Here's Xavier Johnson, the Pitt transfer. Renew again on the block, working on Tayshawn Cherry, the Grand Canyon transfer. Hood-Schifino bounced off his hands. And with 5 on the shot clock, he'll get a screen from Thompson. Hood-Schifino driving, good body control through the lane. Indiana's up 8-0.
Hood-Schifino just looks so comfortable on the floor, driving in. He knows exactly what he wants to do.
Here's Hayden Langcable to Cherry. No good on the 3. Johnson fouled on the rebound as he was headed the other way.
Not a bad idea to do a fast break. Results in the foul. Obviously not a bad thing either.
Luke Goldman will head to the bench. And number 14, Jackson Ames, will add some size for the 96-11, 250. Marion's already played 1 game this season. They beat St. Xavier by almost 30 points on Thursday night. Johnson knifing, no good. The follow from Thompson controls the rebound, and he's fouled by Ames. He'll head to the line.
And you'll see something, like you mentioned, obviously, Marian played their first game on Thursday. They had all 12 players come in and play significant minutes. We'll see that again today. Head coach Scott Heddy said that he expects to have everybody in within the first half, just get experience, get reps in an environment like Assembly Hall.
Yeah, Coach Heddy played all 12 players on the roster on Thursday against St. Xavier in the win, and all 12 of them have scored as well. And talking to him a little bit before the game earlier this week just about the environment heading into this one, how are they going to handle this thing? And he said, well, we were here back in 2017 and we didn't handle it that well, but hopefully they don't get too overwhelmed.
Exactly, just be prepared. Sometimes things aren't going to go your way. Sometimes things will. You just have to take it in stride and keep going.
Here's Lane Cable. He had 5 threes in the season opener. Hoists one from the corner. Can't get the roll. Renew controls.
Marian getting some good shots, getting some good looks, but just not having any luck.
Butchafino jab step and a 3, no good, too strong. Back to his high school teammate Renew, tries one, no good. Indiana struggled from deep last season, only shot 33%. Here's Lane Cable. To Brian. Brian off the give and go from Ames. His 3-pointer's no good. As a team, Marian shot 47% from 3 against St. Xavier. A sweet cross route from Xavier Johnson. Can't get the shot to fall. And it's tapped back out by Indiana. 17 to go on the shot clock.
It's something to keep an eye on maybe as Marian gets more comfortable when they start making those threes. Obviously, they're very capable of it. Doing it on Thursday, they've got some looks right now, 0 for 5, but they're not afraid to try.
And there's an illegal screen on Malik Renew. That'll bring us to the under 16. It's all Hoosiers early. 10-0 Indiana over Marian on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
I think Indiana fans would be glad to hear that they have a coach who wants to win.
Wouldn't anybody?
Johnson off the pick and roll from Renew. Inside to Thompson. Nice pass with the right hand. Gun, corner 3. Too strong.
A great read of the court by Thompson there to fling it over one-handed.
Yeah, he's looked good. He's been the best player on the court. 10 points, 5 rebounds. A 3 from Cherry finally falls. Tayshawn Cherry, the 6'8", 225 senior forward at his 3rd school. He started at Arizona State, a 5-star recruit, 44th rated by ESPN, 38th by 247. Had offers from Arizona, USC, Florida State, and Cal. And there's Renew. That left hand's really working for him.
Absolutely, that's gonna give him 10 points so far. Just so much versatility underneath the basket. He looks so comfortable out on the floor.
Christian Harvey to Brian, a 3. No, Brian struggled from the field, 1 of 4 from deep today. He made 5 threes for 17 points on Thursday in the season opener. Cherry, can he hit another? Yes, he can in front of the Indiana bench.
Not many cheers for Cherry here, obviously, but still very impressive. Back-to-back threes. Marian's going to take what they can get and just play the best that they can in the situation in this game.
Gunn guarded by Bryant, driving on his left. 6 on the shot clock. Johnson heaves one. No good. Short tap out from Renew. Thompson drives to Renew the slam. And good high-low action from the 2 big men leads to a dunk.
And without Trace Jackson-Davis, the way Renew is performing, I don't know if you could have any complaints about that. He's just always where he needs to be, helping with that rebound, getting the score.
Harvey, as Thompson falls, no good on the turnaround. Johnson for the rebound, going the other way. Hesitation, turned it over. He got caught in the air there. Probably got away with a little bit of a travel.
It's one of those things, trying to make those quick passes. something that Johnson struggled with last season with turnovers.
Some weave action as Harvey shoots. No. Gunn will slow things down to the fellow freshman in Hood-Schifino. Thompson, can he go 3 from 3 for deep? He can. He's 100% from deep. And he leads Indiana with 13 points.
Not even worried about it. The entire bench stood up cheering. He's like, yeah, I've done this before.
Lane cable wide open. Doesn't get more open than that. Can't hit it. And those are the shots that would have fallen on Thursday night.
Well, that's one of the biggest things for Marian so far. They're 7 for 26 from the field, 5 for 19 on threes, but they just haven't been able to find the net.
'19 Indiana leads, 1:07 to go in the first half here in Assembly Hall. Indiana back in with the usual starters who started the game. Hood-Schifino off the screen, jumper is good. And if he can make that 20-foot jumper, it's going to make his game a whole lot difficult.
He's already got a difficult game to begin with.
Less than a minute to go. Indiana up big in the first exhibition match of the season. Holding Marian under 20 points in the first half. Harvey, good move with the right hand. Indiana's going to hold it. Here for the final possession of the half. Indiana shooting 60% from the field.
Really taking their time as the clock winds down.
Yeah, it might come for the pick and roll here. Here comes Renew. Johnson goes quickly to the rack and lost it on the way up. It'll stay with Indiana. Good hands by Harvey underneath to swat it away. .3 seconds to go. Should be enough time to get a dribble and a shot if needed. Kopp inbounding. Hood-Schifino. And it looks like he did not get it off in time. That's going to be the half. A strong half from Indiana. The same starting 5 for both teams. Coming out of the second half, Indiana leads 42-21. I'm William McDermott alongside Amanda Foster in Bloomington. There's a good floater. It's good from Hayden Langcable. And the first shot of the half falls for the Knights.
That's what you want to see. We heard Scott Heddy talk about it. Just get those shots in.
Yeah, 29% from the field for Marian. 26% from deep. 19 three-pointers attempted. There's Renew, a little bit sloppy with the ball. Yeah, it got knocked away from him from Brian. It will stay with the Hoosiers. Miller Kopp to Hood-Schifino on the inbounds. Tough turnaround jumper and the foul, falling away at the free throw line.
Great play by Hood-Schifino there. You can see again, just so confident, so comfortable, willing to take that.
He shot that over a 6'9" player in Tayshawn Cherry, who was coming at him full speed through the contact. Free throw is good. Indiana struggled from the line last year, 70%. And a lot of those, Trace Jackson-Davis, that's something he has to get better at, shooting from the line. He only made 67% from the strike last year.
And one of the easiest things to control a free throw.
It's 3 points. Harvey, a deep 3. Short and off to the right, but another offensive rebound. Goldman guarded by Renew. Harvey swatted away by Miller. Kopp diving. And wanted a foul call, but there's no foul. Right in front of us, basically. Good hustle from Miller Kopp, the Northwestern transfer. 9 on the shot clock for the Knights. Harvey in the lane, looking for anything. Fits it up and in. How did he get that one to fall?
Great movement between both of the Indiana blockers around him. Not sure how it went in, but it did, and he'll take it.
Harvey, the Crossroads League Freshman of the Year and first team in 2019 to 2020. Leader of this offense. Here's Hood Schifino, a three. No, too strong. Renew the rebound. Nice dribble with the left hand. Can't get it to fall. Cherry the board.
Cherry with a good presence there, not backing away from Renew.
Goman tries a three. Swatted away from Thompson. He got a fingertip on it. Johnson leading the break. Nice move to his right. Through the contact. Finishes.
That's the Xavier Johnson that you need to have at almost every point that he's on the court.
He's just so up and down. What a block from Renew, the freshman. And there's the freshman tendency, just a little bit too fast of a pass trying to get ahead on the break.
Race Thompson saying his bad, but no matter how you look at it.
Just coming from the help weak side. He was falling out of bounds, so we tried to get it off with two hands, but 17:33 to go. Harvey to the lane, no good. Bryan, a three off the offensive rebound, no good. Renew finally comes down with the ball. But Schifino crossover, skyhook with the right hand is no good. Harvey wide open three off the screen, rattles out. Kopp is fouled going up for the rebound by Jackson Ames, the 6'11", Miami, Ohio sophomore center transfer.
Ames, another one of those transfers for Marian. Very clear foul there. Kopp heading to the bench now. Excuse me, not the bench, just over to the sidelines. You'll see him fall a little bit shaken up. He's shaking his right wrist right now, but still on the court.
Kopp only 2 points today in 9 minutes. Johnson had a rough first half. Renew moved towards the baseline, shuffling his feet and gets it off the glass and in. Malik Renew's 14th point of the game. It's been all Indiana since the tip. Harvey on Johnson, out, Lane Cable, a three. No, tapped out from Renew, back to Lane Cable. Harvey, hesitation, driving, contact, no whistle. And Johnson leading the fast break. 3-on-2 for Indiana. Backwards pass, Kopp, three, rattles in.
Going down the floor, both teams missing one. Malik Reneau now gingerly standing. He didn't move, he was waving towards the bench.
Grabbing at that left thigh, he's waving to come out.
Looks in a significant, not as significant, but in some pain, not moving around too much.
And there he commits another foul as he heads to the deck, as he's gonna take a breather, a little bit banged up on the play.
I'm expected to have huge contributions for Indiana, but they're not missing him today. They're not missing him or Tamar Bates, and that's a sign of the depth that Indiana has. It's a great sign.
A good sign for Indiana, the 13th ranked team in the country. Lane Cable misses the second. But Trace Jackson-Davis, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, and one part of his game, especially last year, he proved a lot defensively. He's nearing in on the all-time block leading board for Indiana. Right now he's got 81 blocks. I think that's 4th or 5th place in Hoosiers history. Here's Xavier Johnson, a three, short-armed it, no good.
They're just one of those players that you know is going to go down in Indiana history one way or another.
Whether they win or not, he's always going to be in that conversation. Especially in the past decade, he's one of the best Hoosiers.
Absolutely.
Maximus Gizzi seeing his first action of the second half. Here he is, top of the key. The end around a lane cable, 3 on the shot clock. Has to hoist up a deep 2, gets it to fall.
Lane Cable taking on the brunt of the work so far in the second half, really trying to get himself any shots that he can. He's got 4 points so far. Of course, Marian with only 27.
Thompson, another 3. Finally misses from deep. His first miss from beyond the arc today.
You got to take the shots when you got the chance.
Lane Cable, can he do it again? Yes, he can. He's heating up. Hayden Lane Cable averaged 10 points a game last year, and he shot 46% from deep. But Schifino driving is going to be a foul on the floor. Looks like Malik Renew is still over on the bench. He was a little banged up a few plays ago for Indiana. He's got an ice pack on that right thigh. Thompson and Johnson will exit. Geronimo and Galloway back in for Indiana.
And again, we talked, it is an exhibition game. Renew has, if you think about it, really proven himself. Whether or not he goes back in, maybe it'll end up being a precaution to keep him on the bench as well.
Duncombe. Schifino. Galloway thought about the 3, drives. And a blocking foul. It looks like Luke Hetty, or no, excuse me, that's Brody Whitaker was inside the cylinder. Actually, it's Luke Goldman, excuse me, I messed that up 3 times.
It's a mess of bodies on the floor, William, I don't blame you.
So Galloway will head to the line. Trey Galloway, an interesting piece of this Indiana team off the bench. He started a couple games last year, but he also missed some time, missed 15 games last year. Gets the first free throw to fall. Had sports hernia surgery over the summer. He was really solid when healthy.
And that's the thing, that's one of the keys for him, is that he needs to stay healthy and be able to find those minutes on the court, because it seems like he's got it. He just needs to prove himself and prove to himself that he does.
Geronimo the follow, and then Duncombe gets it to fall. So the offensive board off the missed foul shot results in 2 for Indiana. Trey Galloway really good on the defensive end. Here he is guarding Luke Hetty. Good hedge from Duncombe. Deep 3. Goldman, nothing but the backboard. Galloway fighting for the ball. It'll remain with the Knights.
A nice attempt there from Galloway to get the ball. We've seen sometimes Indiana a bit lacking on moving for rebounds in this game.
Trey Galloway really struggled shooting the ball last season. Only 21% from 3 as an offensive foul is called on Tayshaun Cherry. Only 65% from the line as well. But Schifino commanding the point with Johnson out of the game. Remember, Indiana loses Rob Finnessy, who transferred to Cincinnati. Duncombe, good move with the left hand in the post.
And there's that, we mentioned it in the first half, Duncombe's put on weight, a little bit more aggressive.
40 pounds.
It's a lot of weight. If he can continue to have those sorts of performances, just be another solid presence off the bench. Can't say enough about it.
Another offensive foul is called on Cherry, and he's going to head to the bench. He's got 3.
A bit frustrated.
As a timeout is called by Marian.
Head coach Scott Hetty grew up playing basketball because of his dad coaching high school basketball, and Scott's son is a senior on Marian's roster, number 11, Luke Hetty. We spoke to him earlier this week, and when asked, what's it like having your son on the team, he said, I try to be a dad and not just a coach, because sometimes you have to be. He knows I want to be harder on him than anybody. Back to you, Will.
Yeah, thanks, Brianna. Great info there. Here's Luke Heddy fighting for the ball in a scrap. Kopp driving, pitches it to Geronimo and can't get it to go. And here's Heddy with the board. 57-30 Indiana lead. A drive from Gizzy, blocked away from Galloway. Galloway, step back three, gets it to fall. I saw him hit 9 3-pointers in a row before the game.
Oh, yeah.
And his first one from deep is good.
Yep. There's that confidence that you get when you make those, no matter the situation.
If he can become consistent from out there, here he is active on the defensive end. It's going to help Indiana's three-point shooting a lot because he was a non-factor from beyond the arc last season and his freshman year.
There are a couple guys on this team that really just not even a chance.
And there was a lot of contact as Galloway was fighting for the ball. Here's another look at it. And yeah, that is going to be a foul on Trey Galloway, but that'll bring us to a TV time.
Will do a lot to show how they match up outside of the Big Ten.
They also go to Xavier for the Gavitt games between the Big Ten and the Big East. So Indiana, they won't be shy of the public eye this season, especially in the non-conference. Preseason AP poll has them ranked 13th in the country.
Well, it's kind of what you want with a program like Indiana, with the history and the culture surrounding it. But the players and Mike Woodson, really it seems like they're like, this is cool, but we got to play the game. They care more about what happens on the court. The preseason accolades don't really mean that much to them.
They all want another banner, another Big Ten championship. Here's Duncombe, turnaround. Short Geronimo really got up going for that rebound, but couldn't grab it. Marian, 12 of 41 from the field. Got to credit Indiana's defense. Heddy, sweet crossover. The Cherry, he's got 3 fouls. Back to Heddy, through the lane. Now Gizzy, fade away from the Big Ten logo, short, and Duncombe snags it.
It's like Marian's got a cursor in their basket, just hitting the rim and bouncing the wrong way.
Jalen Hood-Schifino on the bench. It's Galloway running things for Indiana. Good no-look pass.
A bit mishandled by Duncombe there.
Gizzy pull up in transition, no. Nolan Foster with the offensive rebound. As an injury, it's Tayshawn Cherry is down at the other end for Marian. And they're going to go over to check on him. Tayshawn Cherry, a 6'8", 225 forward out of El Cajon, California, from Southern California. He's actually the second highest rated recruit in Arizona State history when he originally committed to the Sun Devils. And can you guess who else is the highest? You know who the highest recruit in Arizona State history
William,
is?
I am not as well versed in college basketball as you are.
That would be James Harden.
All right, there we go.
I don't have to know that much about college basketball to
Well,
get
you know
that
what?
one.
I don't keep up with every single basketball team as much as I should.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Inbounds knocked around. Heddy, the coach's son. 3 on the shot clock. Lane Cable, he's fouled, a late whistle. And that would be on Caleb Banks, who's getting his first time of the day.
Oh, we talked about him earlier. You can just see the height and his presence. Obviously, we'll need to still get bigger. He's still just a freshman coming in, but a lot of natural athleticism and talent from Banks that we should see soon.
Yeah, out of the freshmen, Caleb Banks is probably the one people are talking about the least in terms of what he can offer, especially this season. It might not be right away for him, but in a couple years, he might be a guy to look out for.
Well, and part of that, talking to the media in preseason, he's a little bit quieter, a little bit more reserved compared to the other freshmen. But you definitely don't want to overlook him, even if you're just a fan.
Another thing about these 4 freshmen, they've just come together and been such good friends. Here's another one of them, C.J. Gunn, misses the 2. Goman drives, and a hard fall from Banks as he grabbed the net. And they're stopping play for another injury, as this time it's Jackson Ames.
You see on the replay, just a grab at the net.
And then a trip from Ames. And he fell over Caleb Banks.
Well, Marian struggled with preseason injuries as well. When we talked to Scott Heddy earlier this week, he said he was still waiting for all of his guys to come back. Coming into this game, all 12 were healthy.
Yeah.
Not quite sure if Cherry's seriously injured. We don't know much from our position, but no stranger to playing with a few men down.
Here's Banks, his first touch. Over to Gunn. Galloway to Geronimo. He tries a 3, gets it to fall. Geronimo really lit things up at the end of the season off the bench for Indiana. That game against Wyoming in the Big Ten or in the NCAA First 4 in Dayton, he had 15 points.
Well, not very characteristic of him, not the biggest offensive contributor in the regular season, but he showed that he can do it when he needs to. Obviously, a goal you would think going forward into this season is to be there a little bit more offensively.
Jordan Geronimo, the way he wanted to describe himself this season as a guy for Indiana is the battery. I don't know if that's a nickname we could coin, but
right
I like
now,
it.
Mark
yes. And here's the battery again, driving through the lane. Nifty with the ball in the air and off the glass. He just wants to provide the energy and be the juice for Indiana. He definitely can be off the bench. Had a rough first half.
And that's the thing with so many of these Indiana players is that if they come on in the right mindset and see their shots fall, there's a great amount of confidence and talent that's there, and it just needs to have the opportunity to come out.
Going into the under 8, Indiana up big, 65-35 over Marian University. You're watching Big Ten Plus.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's all coming together on the floor.
I don't know if we'll see Johnson, Thompson, or Kopp again, or even Renew for that matter. He did get a little banged up, but he should be fine. Here's a 3 from Cable as the shot clock expires. Can't even hit the rim. It'll be Indiana ball.
Marian, throughout this whole game, we talked about this with Scott Heddy, the mindset, just come in and play the way they can, play however it works out. Indiana's going to have some runs that work out, and even if they make mistakes, still might work out. Marian could play the best they could possibly be playing, and Indiana would still be as successful as they are. But just a great experience, like we heard from Brianna's interview with him earlier.
Harvey off the turnover is fouled as he went up for a floater inside the lane. And that one's on Galloway.
One thing you'll notice just seeing the two teams interacting on the floor is the height advantage that Indiana has. So you've got to wonder, going into regular season play, into conference play, we know some of the teams Indiana is going to be facing have tall, strong, big men. That, not to say Marian doesn't, but just a little bit of a difference going in and at an NCAA level. It'll be interesting to see how Indiana can match up with teams of that stature.
Yeah, you definitely raise a good point. I think, especially when compared to Marian, Indiana just has such good height 1 through 5, where Marian has, a few guys who are 6'10", 6'9". Especially in Ames, he's the biggest, number 14 there in the middle. A good find from Geronimo to Galloway, who gets it to roll. But Indiana, Caleb Banks right now, he's playing the 3, and he's 6'7".
Exactly.
Good hands from Geronimo. And after the steal, he was fouled in transition.
Good awareness there. Go for the ball, like you said, good hands, good control.
So Christian Harvey, his second foul, and it's the team 7, so Geronimo will be headed to the line as Indiana's in the bonus. Gets the first to fall, so we'll go another crack at it. There's some talk about Jordan Geronimo, the junior forward out of Newark, New Jersey, and whether or not he would get some playing time at the 3. And yesterday when asked about that at the press conference, Mike Woodson said, my players don't have positions.
They just play.
Yeah,
they're just on the floor.
They're just players. An interesting way to look at it.
Oh, and meaningful in the way that you would think Woodson sees his players as able to play in multiple positions, and he doesn't see the need to assign them to a specific spot.
A good elevation from Lane Cable to get that one off, but it didn't fall. Duncombe, another rebound. He's been all over the glass. 8 boards, leads the Hoosiers.
That's what being 6'10" will do for you.
A lot of people, a lot of Indiana, especially Trace Jackson Davis, excited for Duncombe. Banks' first shot as a Hoosier is no good on the wing 3. Lane Cable using the screen from Ames, 7 on the shot clock. Good Hezzy move to the baseline. Floater no good. Geronimo fighting for the rebound underneath the basket with 2 Knights. That was Gavin Foe who just checked into the game for the first time, and Jackson Ames who were fighting with them. And it led to a jump ball. Anthony Leal, the hometown kid, getting some applause. His first appearance of the day.
It seems like a lot of excitement around Leal as well. He hasn't had a huge amount of playing time in the past 2 years that he's been at Indiana. Again, there's still a question of how much he'll get during the regular season with the talent that's on this team, but everybody here loves him.
He came to Indiana, people wanted him to be a shooter. He's done his role. He started 2 games last season. Here's Gunn from Indy. Oh yeah. His second 3 of the day for the freshman. And if he can knock down shots like that, he's going to find a way on the court. He commits a foul on the other end.
Win some, you lose some. You know, you'll take a 3-pointer and give up a foul in this situation.
Gunn's really just sneakily athletic. And he's bigger than you would expect. He's got to put on some weight, but he's 6'6".
He's very aware of his position on the court.
He's real long, he can defend well. Here's Lane Cable, step back over Duncombe. No good, there he was getting up for the rebound. Up ahead to Duncombe, a good find, and he gets it to roll. Logan Duncombe's been good off the bench. And these 4 Indiana big men, Race Thompson, Malik Renew, Logan Duncombe, and Jordan Geronimo have been all over the floor. Good move from Harvey. And a blocking foul called on Caleb Banks. He wanted a charge.
Quickly go from cheers on one end of the court from Duncombe to some boos from the crowd on that call. But like you said, once again, just seeing how versatile these players are with CJ Gunn going up for a rebound. Duncombe just such a good, solid presence underneath the basket on the other end.
Harvey makes the first, 65% free throw shooter a year ago. Rowan Farrell checks into the game, number 4, his first action for the Knights.
And one thing with this Marian team in the Crossroads League and in the NAIA, they're competing against very strong teams at that level. They do have the potential to have a very successful season going forward.
Yeah, Coach Hetty called it the best league in the NAIA. And they've got teams like Taylor University, who does that silent night game which is it's always all over social media. Duncombe, turnaround hook. No good. Geronimo, the energy, the backwards pass. What a find, the quarterback. And what do we have here? A shot clock issue, potentially. Yeah, they're going to reset it to 16.
Take away a little bit of the momentum that came from whatever that shot was.
It was quite the find from Geronimo. Leo off the screen. Baseline. Back to Duncombe. Takes one dribble and floats it in. Logan Duncombe's got 10. Indiana now 75-38 over Marian. Under 4 to go. Brian tries one. He's been really cold today. Back to Farrell. Thought about the 3. The elbow jumper is no good. And Banks lost it, and falling out of bounds was Gavin Foe going for the loose ball. That'll bring us to the under 4 timeout. It's all Hoosiers on Big Ten Plus, 75-38 Indiana.
Yeah, not a ton of history between these two teams, but as we talked about earlier, some history between the past with the Marian University athletic director playing for Indiana earlier, honored at halftime.
Yeah, Steve Downing was out here at halftime. They honored the 1972-73 Indiana basketball team, which made a Final Four. So they were out here, and they got a warm welcome.
A very neat connection, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Marian and Indiana have more exhibition games in the future.
That was an air ball from Banks. Harvey. And a foul is called on the drive. Harvey's played basically the entire game, it feels like. He's a guy that Scott Heddy told us really he trusts to command this team, one of the older guys, the leaders of this program.
Redshirt senior, that's expected of you. Harvey, all-league preseason team. Some high hopes for him this season.
He missed that one. Geronimo, top of the key, looking to gun. Good ball movement from Indiana. Geronimo, corner 3, rolls out at every part of the rim. Harvey driving. Charge is called. Anthony Leal stood in there and took it.
That's what you got to do in those situations.
And more subs come in for Coach Heddy. Here's another look at it. Good slide from Leal to get there.
Leal with a little bit of a height advantage there over Harvey. Just very solid.
Indiana turned it over 6 times in the first 10 minutes. Since then, only 3 turnovers. Banks doesn't get more open than this. No. And some encouragement from his teammates. Keep shooting. He's struggled when he's been out there, 0-3 from the field.
No one too upset at this point. You know, you're up 75-38. You might as well take those shots, especially as a freshman. Trying to get used to shooting from beyond the arc, why not?
Yeah, so a foul was called. And since the Knights are in the bonus, Foe will head to the line. One thing about this freshman class is they're just, talking to them at Media Day, they're just all such good friends. They go bowling, play video games. Malik Renew said he thought he was the best one at Madden, but
I'm not sure if I don't have any judgment to pass on that, but talk to me about his 2K character. I
Oh, yeah.
can't remember what he said, but I know that I'm fairly certain it was not modeled after him.
He probably had it as like a 5'9" point guard who could just do anything with the, like Muggsy Bogues type character build. Here's Gunn, who's blocked by Rowan Farrell. Mike Woodson just had passed the ball.
He's not wrong. You do have to do that.
Nathan Childress, the walk-on, short off the inbounds pass. He's getting the first action. He played in a couple games last season, played in 11 career games as a Hoosier, a senior forward out of Zionsville, Indiana.
Yeah, only 3 games last year. Scored his first career basket on a three-pointer against Louisiana.
Goman thought about it. Foe, a 3. No. Gunn the rebound. Lob to Leal, who lays it in. Good pass from C.J. Gunn.
A great connection between the two there. Really good movement by Leal right under the basket. Get it up quickly.
Another look at it. Leal, good concentration on the finish. Marian just missed a 3. We've got 1 minute to go. And Indiana's still playing hard. Duncombe underneath. He's got 10. Couldn't get that one to go. Gets his own rebound, fighting through defenders, and is fouled. But Indiana's bench loves that energy.
Well, it's a great presence from Duncombe in that position. That's what we've been talking about the entire game. Just to be solid, use his size, get whatever you can. And in this case, free throws, not a bad thing.
Duncombe 5 of 8 from the field, 11 points. He's got a double-double. The only double-double from both teams today. Race Thompson probably would have been heading to that territory. He had 13 points and 6 rebounds, but he basically didn't even play this half.
And Duncombe, when you think about it, needs that experience on the court more than Thompson does. Don't want to risk any injuries.
That one's no good from Pizzi, but Indiana's balance has just been so good today. Childress on the give and go.
Giving it his all.
Farrell swatted away from C.J. Gunn.
It's a great swing of the arm there. You'll see on the replay. Very little contest.
Indiana's bench just relaxing. No Tamar Bates or Trace Jackson Davis today from Indiana, but it didn't really matter. Farrell tries a 3, gets it to fall. Rowan Farrell making some minutes.
His first points of the game. And now we slow things down.
And now that's gonna do it. Anthony Leal's gonna dribble things off as Indiana is gonna head into the Halloween weekend with a win 78-42 over Marian University. And Mike Woodson and Scott Heddy meet at center court. It's been a fun one in Indiana, especially. It's been good to see how their freshmen have fared for the 13th best team in the country.
Oh, and absolutely, and it felt like it was a decently competitive game regardless of the score. Obviously, when you think about it, not really that much from Indiana, shooting 51% from field goal, 42% from beyond the arc. Very successful. Marian put up a fight. They did their best, but it was the freshmen were the name of the game.